Thank you, Professor Harzing, for experience and advice to do impactful research. And we, as a junior researcher, when we are learning how to do properly research, and especially how to make impact later on. So, what is your advice for a junior scholar to do impactful research?
Mm-hmm. I think it's really nice you asked that, because that's a really good point of departure. Do impactful research rather than asking how do I get published, because that's only the first step. And the publication of an article is the start. It's not the finish. So what I would say is impactful research, first of all, follow your heart. Focus on topics that you're passionate about and where you have unique skills. Because a lot of the research that I see and review for journals these days is really what I call cookie cutter research. It's methodologically very skilled, very well done, but it's really boring. So don't just do what everyone else does. Dare to be different, dare to be critical. And I think these two articles that we talked about earlier were different. And I think that's part of why they were impactful. But also, I think we need to, as academics, realize that when we talk about impact, we usually talk about citations. But that's just impact on other academics. And that's not all that our research does. We have a tremendous impact on our students as well. And in any good university, research will feed into the classroom, and students will benefit from research-led teaching. So our articles might have an impact in the classroom as well. So we have kind of two major functions of a university, research and teaching, and we can have impacts in both areas. But there's also a third function of a university, and that's not something that junior academics often realize, and that's external engagement. And that's very much our impact on practice, on public policy, or on society more generally. So when you talk about impact, there are really at least 5 different types of impact. But I think as young academics, we mostly focus on citations. So let me say a few things on citations to finish off this discussion. And I think there's a lot of things you can do as a junior academic to improve the chances of your work being cited. And I'm talking about ethical things. I'm not talking about unethical things like forcing people to cite your work. And I mentioned earlier that I came up with 4 P's for publication. I also have 4 C's for citation, getting cited. And the first one is competence. Your work needs to be good. You need to produce high quality work. If your work isn't high quality, it's unlikely to be cited. There are a few exceptions. Sometimes shoddy work gets cited. Most of the times it's quality work. But then second, collaboration, because co-authors can really improve the quality of your paper if they have complementary skills. And they also read your paper again and again. So you have more chance to polish the paper. And also working with co-authors gives you more motivation to finish your papers. But in terms of citations, they have their own network as well. So they have other people they know who are going to read the paper and are going to cite the paper. So collaboration is good for the quality of the paper, but it's also good for citations. And then I would say the third C is for care. Care for your academic reputation. Never, ever engage in unethical or questionable research practices, but also care for other academics. And that's something I really feel strongly about, because if you build high quality networks with other academics that are based on trust and reciprocity, not instrumentally, these people are useful to me. No, they're based on trust and reciprocity. That really helps you to disseminate your research. And if you disseminate your research, you'll get more citations. But most of all, obviously, is communication, because that might sound like blindingly obvious, but people can only cite your paper if they know about it. So you need to make sure that your paper reaches the widest possible audience. And you can do that face-to-face by presenting it at universities or at conferences, but you can also do that through social media. And that is, in fact, a little bit what we're doing right now with this interview, and what you are doing with WAVE, with launching the top 20 articles in various fields to celebrate WAVE's 20th anniversary, because you use modern technology and social media to communicate about our research. So I think that's something that we all need to do much more of. So I would like to really thank you, Saba and Ha, and also Stacey and Tanvi, who did an interview before, and Naomi as well, for all your hard work in sharing our collective research, because I think it's really, really important.
Thank you so much, Annabelle, for this very inspiring talk. We really learned a lot from your experience, from your insight, from your wisdom. Congrats again, and thanks for doing this with us on behalf of all WAVE membership. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Have a great day.